Let's have a chat. So last year, I applied for the British citizenship, and guess what? I got it. And I wanted to share here my experience with you guys, but also leave my comments open in case you have any questions and I'm able to help. So the first thing that I had to do was to take the English test, and I used Trinity College. I didn't take any classes with them, but I know that they do offer some prep classes for this test in specific. The test for me was fairly easy. I was quite comfortable. It's just a conversation where you talk about like your hobbies. I remember the person that was interviewing me asking me what I was going to do on the weekend. So it was just like a conversation. There was no grammar involved. Second thing I had to do was to prep for the Life in the UK test. And the way that I've done it, I don't really advise you to do it. Just do it if you feel comfortable doing that way. But I didn't study from the book. Like I didn't buy the book that they advertise. I basically started researching on my own. So I went on YouTube and I searched for the Life in the UK test prep, which by the way, I saw a channel. I watched loads of videos of this guy. The channel is called Life in the UK Prep. I'll leave everything written down below as well. And basically, I watched his videos over and over and over again, but it wasn't enough because you had to pay to get additional videos. And so my second option was to go on Google and just search for Life in the UK practice test. And I've done loads. I'll leave the link down below of the specific website that I used, by the way. But I've done loads and loads and loads of tests until I felt comfortable to then go and take the test, which I passed first time. Then the second thing was to submit the application. From the moment that I submitted the application into I got an answer, it took me 5 weeks. So it was super fast. And I was super worried, right? Because they say, oh, it can take up to 6 months, and that left me a bit anxious. I don't know whether my timeline is going to be the same as yours, but for me, it took this time 5 weeks. And then when it comes to the application, I've also done it by myself. I didn't hire anyone to do it for me. You have to put some of your personal information, like your name, name of your mom, name of your dad, where you were born, how many days you left the country, so like specific dates when you left the country and the reason why you left. Was it a business trip or was it a holiday? And you also need to prove that you've been here enough time to be granted citizenship. So in my case, I had the settlement, then I was given the pre-settle, and then, I was given the pre-settle, then I was given the settlement, and then the settlement is basically indefinite leave to remain. And then 1 year after I had that, I could apply for the citizenship. So for documents to prove that I've been here, I basically submitted the decision of the settlement, because during that process I already had to prove that I was here. So that proves that I was here for 5 years, and then I just basically added the additional year. So I submitted the HMRC tax pay documentation for that additional year, and also I submitted 2 referrals. Those are required, by the way. One of them needs to be of a specific profession, and they don't necessarily need to be a British citizen. The second one needs to be a British citizen, but doesn't necessarily needs to be of a specific profession. You can find the professions on the government website. Then, once you finish your application, they will ask you to submit your biometrics. And I was trying to schedule an appointment, but everything was so further down the line. I would have to wait like a month or more, that I decided to pay for the appointment, and then I was able to do it within a week. During the appointment, you have to take your passport, they will take your digitals, and they will also take photos of you. And that's like in a machine. Then once that's done and you submit your application, you have to wait for the decision, which can take up to 6 months. I was lucky enough to get mine within 5 weeks. And I basically found out because the consul contacted me saying that my ceremony was booked. And I was super happy. I went to the ceremony. They give you the naturalization certificate, which you use that to apply for your passport. When it comes to applying for your passport, you also need a referral. And you need to submit the email address of that referral person, and they confirm your identity via email. Then you also have to mail to the government both your passport and the naturalization document that you got on your ceremony. And then you need to wait, I think it's up to a month. However, I got mine within a week. And that was it. That was pretty much my experience. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help where I can.